here to meet you tonight. But first I want to address a couple of issues. The first thing I want to tell you is some of you may have noticed that you haven't been able to get into the myfloriani.club. We have resolved this problem. It is corrected. You can get in. Now, if there are some of you that still can't seem to get in the next few hours, you will be able to get in as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you in the club. And I want to introduce to you Mr. Ricky Brooks and a host of educators.
Hello, everyone. Happy holidays from everyone at Floriani. Thank you for being in attendance. We're here with all of our Floriani educators this evening for a very special webinar. As you know, this is our FTCU holiday webinar, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But I wanted you to know how grateful we are to have you as Floriani customers. We get emails all the time from you thanking us for the great software program, telling us how much you're enjoying it, and I want to encourage you, please keep those coming. We love it. Do you like it? And you're going to be even happier after this evening because we have some special gifts in store for you this evening. But we wanted you to know again, we're grateful for you being a Floriani customer, but more we're grateful that you're here this evening, that you've taken the time out of this very hectic time of the year to tune in and be a part of this special webinar. And with that being said, sit back, get ready to enjoy it, and find out what's new with FTCU.
Okay, all. Well, I'm going to turn the screen over to Mr. Floriani so we can get started with this webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and change the presenter. Walter, it goes to you.
Miss Kathy.
There you go.
I'm ready to go. Show my screen. You should all be able to see my screen now. Kathy, do you see my screen? We're up and running. Good evening, everyone. Hugs and stitches to you. I've got to tell you, of all the webinars that we've ever done, seeing Ricky, seeing our educators all sitting in that room, that was quite the opening. I don't think we've ever had an opening like that. So DJ and I were a little concerned, though. We didn't get any hats. So other than that, I think that was an absolutely incredible way to start it off. Look, folks, we've had all our educators in here today, and we have been reviewing a brand new update that we got. We've been playing with it today. I have to tell you, this software has progressed so quickly and has gone so far. We've got some wonderful new features for you. I'm not going to cover quite all of them. I'm going to run out of time, but I'm going to cover a good amount of them, and then we'll just keep this going a little while longer. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to show you that we added, number one, is two processes for digitizing. The first one is a wonderful pan tool. Now, the pan tool is accessed by simply clicking on the space bar. If I click on the space bar, you see the hand come up. Now when I'm in digitizing, you also see here, look, over here on the left, on the editing bar, you'll see that I also have the pan tool is up here now, because if I click the little arrow, I can go into zoom. So I'm digitizing, so let's say I'm going to zoom in here. Well, once that pan tool is activated and I have that hand on the screen, I can simply come in and I can move around panning through the design. I love pan tools. I tend to zoom in on one scale value and then try to stay on that specific value. It's just that the choice is always yours in Floriani. You can zoom in and out. I like to pan on pretty much one set factor. But you know, one of the issues that I have when I'm panning is that as I'm digitizing, let's say, down this line and I'm moving, I like to kind of look at the entire design. Watch this. This is a wonderful new feature, and actually, look, some of these we just put in here, so I believe it's under Navigator right here. I'm going to click on the Navigator. You go under View. There's your Navigator. Okay? The Navigator is basically a look at the entire design. So as I move through, as I zoom out, okay, I can have the entire design. So now when I'm zoomed into a design or I'm panning through the design, I can see where I'm going within the design through the Navigator. That Navigator is an absolutely great tool. intermingled again with the zoom tool so that I can zoom in, but I can see more of the design than I have, so I'm digitizing up here. But I'm looking down here, I'm looking where I'm going on the navigation tool. I think that's an absolutely wonderful feature that we have. So far, the pan tool, access it by hitting the space bar or simply coming over to the zoom tool, click on the down arrow there on the right arrow, and you can pick your pan tool there. Another wonderful feature that's been added is we've now added over 30 shortcuts. So as I come over the icons, okay, up here on the top, go ahead and pick one, but as I would come over the icon, the manual stitch, your hotkey now is the 1 button. Run stitch is 2, okay? I love keyboard shortcuts. When you get functional and when you get used to them, it's a very quick way to toggle from, let's say, fill stitches. There's my 6. Okay, want to go into satin stitch, I click on the 3. Want to go into my steel stitch. We now have over 30 shortcut keys. I think that's just an amazing leap forward within it. We have a function that we've added, distribute horizontal and distribute vertical. So I'm going to bring up a series of just some symbols that I've brought in here. I've placed them just kind of erroneously on the screen. I select them. Now look, one of the ways I'm going to turn off the navigator just by hitting on close. One of the quickest ways to select, I've always loved this, I don't talk about it a lot, but just click on all items, you'll select the entire design. Control A also brings you into selecting the entire design. We've added this icon up here, distribute horizontally. If I come in and distribute horizontally, watch what happens to the designs. That's a great tool. When you brought in a series of designs and you want to hit or fit, let's say, a specific hoop size, and you want that even spacing in between, okay? Select the entire design. Right there's your icon, distribute horizontally, all right? We can also do so in a vertical mode. So I've come in here and I've selected just 4 little anchor designs. Again, just place them anywhere on the screens. Once again, I'm simply going to click on all items. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on distribute vertically. What did you call this software today, Kathy? We were working through it, the one-click wonder.
The one-click wonder. It's magic.
The process, and as fast as we're moving with this software right now, it is just absolutely, again, unbelievable to me. I love this process. Here's another one. This one I love. We've just added, let me get this design up. Let's hit the screen with it. I love running stitch designs. I love red work, okay? So what we've added up here is a red work tool, all right? You've got your design on the screen. Simply click on your red work tool. Come down, you'll see that you have the magic wand red work tool. Go in any area of that black and just simply left click, okay? The design is done. Look, at this point in time, I can go ahead and hide the background.
And you know how you always remember what your red work tool is? It's the blue one.
So where is my, oh, excuse me. When you want to hide the design, I'm still getting used to this, I'm simply going to do my select. I'm going to right click and I'm simply going to, got to get inside there. Okay. And we've got our backdrop tool is right, excuse me, oh, you simply come over here, folks, and click on, no, backdrop tool.
Now right mouse click.
Here we go. My apologies. I'm going to make that look 3D. Once again, now that we select, you see that the run stitch was selected. Of course, red work we do with the bean stitch. You could use a motif stitch, okay? You could do it a single or a double run, and then you now have your bean repeats, which is now 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, okay? Look, going to a little longer stitch length, let's say we go to a 4mm stitch length, and coming in here and adding additional repeats like a 5 or a 7, you do a more lofted effect when done with the 40 weight thread. Utilizing it with some of our new batting material, you create an absolutely gorgeous trapunto effect. so you can create great trapunto effects. You got a brand new tool. You now have a red work tool over here. You'll notice when I'm not clicking on here, up here in the properties view, you have this wonderful new area of design notes. You can keep specific design notes as you digitized it. You might put in there exactly if you've done like 2 different types, one with 5, one with 7, the results or the looks. You can put anything in here that you want regarding any individual design that you're working from. Anytime you're not selected on the image or on the stitch type per se, where it activates your properties box, anytime you click off of that, your design notes pop up there. I love the design notes. I'm going to bring up, I made here a satin stitch. One of the things we just added to the satin stitch, again, I'm going to go ahead and make my selection. Up here in the properties box, first of all, we've added now centerline underlay. Okay, the centerline underlay is something I've been looking forward to. But as I scroll over here, we've got this wonderful new split satin stitch feature. So click on split. Now, look at these choices that you have. You can middle split, 50% right down the middle. You can do an absolute split. You can percentage split, but I love the random split. I'm going to select random split. I can say my stitch length, you know what? I want to make sure that I'm in metric because I set mine in metric. Again, I work metrically. I size in inches. Jump back to metric, pick my random split. Going to say, come in here and say my minimum stitch length is about 1.4, well, let's call it 1.5 millimeters. And I'm going to have a maximum stitch length, let's see what I'm putting here, maybe 5 millimeters. And then simply click apply and watch the design, okay? You can create some great random designs. When you're using elongated satin stitches, look in the fill stitch, you can use a random fill stitch to create some wonderful like hair designs. By going into now satin stitching, we can do the same thing. I can also add to this a jagged edge, put satins along satins, another wonderful way to do hair effects. This is wonderful for grass. Just elongate the stitch. You have an amazing amount of control in here. I'm just playing with some of this stuff. It's amazing. Each one yields a different effect that you have with it. All right. We have also added, let's see what we've got in here. Design notes, split satins. You know what, Miss Kathy? Well, you know, I'm going to show you one more time. One of the highlights within the software for me, if you weren't in the last webinar where I previewed it, is certainly the auto-digitizing process. The other platform I always talk about are segmented auto-digitizing. You know what, folks? I don't even use it anymore. The last webinars that I've been doing, I've been asking by show of hands, how many of you are creating within the software that we had and have had? You know what? Maybe 2 or 3% of the hands go up in the class. When we came out with this new platform, DJ and I worked very hard on the auto-digitizing process. What I want to see is, because this software is creation software for me. It always has been. It always will be. Yet not many of you were creating within the software. Now, I understood why. Many of you called it the D word. You always tried to stay away from digitizing. And look, we're at the last webinar, a little bit of repetitiveness, but I've got to show you this once again because this continues to just get better and better. You select your auto-digitizing wizard by clicking on the down arrow. Right here is your digitizing wizard. You do have your cross stitch. The one you're looking for over here is your auto-digitizing wizard with the little wizard hat. Grab the little wizard hat and click on select the image. When you click on select the image, you're going to select your design right here. I think the last time I did, it was a hamburger, wasn't it? You know what, let's grab another one. Let's go ahead and grab the ladybug. I'm going to grab that ladybug design. I'm going to click on open, and I'm going to click on next. At this point in time, I'm going to set my size. I'm going to tell it it's about a 4-inch ladybug. I know enough about metric to know that's about 100 millimeters. At this point, I'm going to simply click on next, okay? So I brought the design in, I've sized it. All you have to do from this point on, everything is preset for you. Now, some of this is going to change so that you get into, and we'll be able to go to a higher level of auto-digitizing. But right now, I'm just going to click next. I click next again. Here's a new tolerance value. This is just for clarity of the design. Hit next one more time. Here's your auto digitizing wizard, the judgment page we call it, where you can minimize your color change or minimize your jumps, determine if you want to never lock stitch, always lock stitch, or just around trims. They're preset to my values. Basically, at this point, hit finish, and that design is ready to run, okay? The only thing I'm going to do, many times I'll tell you, the outline always seems to run first. So I'm going to select over here. All I did was grab the black right here, and I want to pull it down and just place it after the red. That design is ready to run. Can you make changes to it? Absolutely. Again, some of the wonderful features. Let me go here, click on the plus sign. I can grab the fill right here. Again, down here, once you digitize within the software, all these icons down here, everything down here from this point on, there's your standard fill. You want to add a fancy fill? You can click on a fancy fill and add a fancy fill. Once it's selected, here's your selection. You can choose any one of them. You have total control with this software. You can come in and you can input fancy fills. You can input motif fills. So you can click on your motifs. It'll put motifs in there. Your motif selections are over here. Look, my point is this. Okay, next year, as I go around doing classes all around the country, and I ask the question, how many of you have created? I want to see 97% of the hands go up. It's creation software. You all have to look at designs and say, you know what? I wish I had that one as an embroidery design. Get it into the software. Hit your digitizing wizard. Select your size and just hit next, 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 finish. Okay, another nice thing with the software is in the auto digitizing when redeveloped, and I'm going to turn off the 3D view, all your distortion values are done, okay? That design is ready to run. Now, certainly, I'm going to run it through Save to Sew, change it to the specific material type, proper density, proper underlay per se, but that design right now can be run. That is revolutionary, folks. Auto digitizing works. It truly and absolutely works. 9 out of 10 designs have worked for me every time I've tried it in the auto digitizing. All I'm asking you to do is try it. Now, with that said, I have a little treat for you. Miss Kathy Quinn, who is our moderator, is my moderator at this wizard, actually had this update a little bit before me. There are a lot more features within it. I want to ask Miss Kathy to step in and show you a little bit of her stuff because, you know, again, while it's Floriani software, it's also Kathy Quinn software. It's DJ Anderson software. It's every educator in that room that you were looking at software, and it's your software, folks. We've all had input into the process. I'm going to let Kathy jump in right here, right now, and share with you some of the features. I will come back at the end and say goodbye. Right now I'll say hugs and stitches again. Thanks for listening to me. Miss Quinn, come on and jump in and let me see some of your stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll use your computer. No, I can use your computer. No, because
I don't have you in the room.
we're never together, so this is awesome. Okay, we do have a few other features that I wanted to show you that I was very, very excited about. And the first one is, again, these are things you've asked for. Well, let me show you.
But I might have to make some kind of
okay. Well, I'm going to show you our new batch converter. You think you could convert before? Wait till you see what you can do now. I'm going to go to Tools, Batch Converter.
I knew we were working on it.
When that came in, I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to do this. First, you want, where are the designs that I want to convert? Of course, since I'm on Walter's computer, I have no idea.
Just watch where you go.
There you go. Yeah, you know what? Those pictures you had, I don't want to see.
No,
I'm teasing.
I know.
I'm teasing you. I'm looking for Floriani.
I might have blundered here by putting on this.
Yeah, go get me to the free Floriani designs if they're in there.
You're going to make me put my glasses
you know
back
what?
on, Miss Kathy.
Just give me batch. Just give me.
Just turn the control over to you. Hold on. Make you the presenter.
Yeah, because I know my computer.
I'm sure you do. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go, Kathy. Thank you.
Okay. Show my screen. Absolutely. Okay. Now I'm on. Great. Let's look at batch conversion. I'm going to go to Tools, Batch Converter. Now I'm going to go right here. I'm going to look here, but I've gone into my Floriani my free monthly designs, and I've gone into November 2014. So I've selected the source folder. Now I've selected, when I select that folder, all the designs in that folder are selected. How cool is that? Now I can include subdirectories. If by chance I had subdirectories in that folder, I'm selecting everything. How easy is that? Now I'm going to save in the source folder, because when you convert these designs, we want them to go back to the same place so we can find them again. And then if I want to overwrite existing files, let's say I'd already converted them once to PEZ, but I couldn't for sure remember, I'm just going to tell it to overwrite so I don't have 2 or 3 in there. Now I'm going to convert. I can select the file extensions I want to convert. Well, I happen to know right now all the ones in that folder happen to be WAF files. But if I had PCS or Tajima, whatever files are in there, I can select. Now here's the piece de resistance, because now I want to convert them to a PEZ folder because I have a brother machine. And you know what? I also want to convert them. I can come down and say, you know what? I also want it for my Viking, and I want it for my FOSS, and I want it for my Genome. And now when I start, I can do all of them at once. How cool was that?
That's
now
absolutely incredible.
That's
absolutely incredible. You can actually turn that in because those are the free monthly designs. You're always going to pick your WAF because it gives you the most editing control. But why not throw it into that source folder with your machine format in there also?
And all of us, we all know we have more than one machine brand at home. So instead of having to convert one version, now we come back and do our FOSS, and now we come back and do our Viking, and now we come back and do our Bernina. I can just do them all at once, and now I don't ever have to worry about converting those designs again.
What does it used to say in my classes? Woo-hoo!
Woo-hoo!
Not quite yours, but
absolutely.
I like this
So
is a tag team webinar, baby.
Floriani's
You're going to have to come back here more.
Batch conversion. Now we've also given you, you've asked us for a thread chart creator. Well, let's have one. I'm going to come in here to my thread chart creator. I'm going to tell it to open, and I can come in here. Nope, I'm sorry. I don't want to open. I want to import. Excuse me.
That's all right.
I'm going to import. Yeah. Well, I learned it from you.
I know. Well, that's what getting used to software is, okay? We played with this today.
I'm going to come down and select Floriani Poly, and I need this red. I think I need this lavender, and I need this yellow. And you know what? Maybe I just had some old spools of Brand X in the drawer, so I'm going to pick that brand, and I'm going to add that to this thread chart too, because they don't have to just be one thread brand. How cool is this?
That's amazing.
Now once I've done that,
micro thread too, Kathy?
Oh, absolutely. I've got micro thread, and I can come in here and find Floriani R&K micro right here. There's my micro thread. So I'm going to throw in some of my micro thread colors to import. So I've imported those right now, and so now I have created this little thread chart. Now I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save this as Kathy's top drawer. These were the ones that were in my top drawer. And I'm going to type in the name, and I'm now going to save this thread chart. So yes. So now I have created a thread chart that I can use to come up along the bottom. So now I could have done, if I had a design with specific threads, I could have done that.
Yeah, now what if you bought like a series of designs, like the, oh my God, a series of the
precious moments.
Precious moments, that's
Absolutely.
what I was trying to say. Your precious moments, you've got specific colors you're going to use in all those designs.
I can create that thread chart and
create that, and why I'm doing the micro thread is because many times when I'm doing designs, I'm doing very small lettering. Some of those designs have very fine detail. While I'm going to always throw my primary colors in there in my 40 weight, I'm always going to throw my black, my colors that I use for lettering or outlining, I'm always going to throw in that micro thread. So I can create specific thread charts for specific design styles.
Or for, yes, exactly, specific design styles, whatever you're doing that day, that week. And you can create these, and you can delete them. When you're through with that one, if you don't need that thread chart again, you can just delete it.
That's amazing.
Way cool. Now, let me show you our applique. Woohoo! Now, I can't draw, and everybody knows that that's been to my seminars. So the first thing I use is Kathy's very favorite tool, which is our artwork tool up here at the top. So I'm going to drop down my box and go to Custom Shape, and I can pick any fun shape. So I'm just going to pick the cloud because we all love the cloud in the myfloriani.club. And now that I have artwork up here, remember this isn't stitches, it's artwork, I'm going to come along the bottom, and I want you to notice as I come along. Look at all my icons are in beautiful living color.
They were all great, weren't they?
Yeah, yours looked gray like they didn't work. Well, look at all of these are in beautiful color. And we all know the green bush is applique. So I'm going to left mouse click, and I've now created an applique that easy. But I want to show you what we can do with our applique. Now, of course, we've got our satin, our blanket motif. But we've added some new features to applique. Now look here, this is huge. This makes doing some applique stuff so easy. What if I just want my placement line so I can copy it over and make myself a design template? I'm only going to have to get rid of the finish line, get rid of the tack down line, apply, and look, there is my placement line. Now, right mouse click, copy.
Sometimes I like to do an applique where I kind of rough cut it, like a cutaway is what I would call it, where I would actually use my placement line and the tack down. So in this, I got that ability simply by clicking on the sew tack down.
And for those of you that have done my applique lesson, how much easier is this to just take your placement line and copy and paste it over to make to print it out on your applique wonder. Well, let's come back and put them back in, because I want to show you a couple more features. We have some applique extras, baby.
We have been waiting for this for a while.
Look at what I've got in applique extra. In my tack down line, I can now make it a run, and I can change my stitch length, offset, but even better than that, baby, I can make it a zigzag. You've asked for it, you've got it. There's your zigzag. Okay. There we go. We've got it. We can have all kinds of fun with this. How cool.
That what you had in there was your inset. With the zigzag, you've got to go 100%
well,
of the inset.
I didn't do any of that. I just wanted to show them they could do it.
Yeah, but when that showed a little bit to the outside, you just simply change your inset, and it will put it in the proper position.
Absolutely. But you have all of that control. That's what's the most important.
Total control.
I want to show you some new print functions. Ooh, baby. Let me show you. File, print preview. Now before, if I go into my settings, you always could print at actual size, the color analysis, and a crosshair, but what if I don't want the crosshair? I can now turn my crosshair on and off, and you a thick crosshair. How cool is that? Now we didn't have these features until tonight. I've got these features to show you. This is fun stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now we've got a little extra time tonight.
You were listening good, Miss Karen.
So I wanted to show you some quick, fun things. You're going to get sent out our weekly Floriani video tomorrow night, and you're going to have a quick software lesson. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what you're getting, so you'll look forward to it. I'm going to come up again to that custom shape artwork tool.
That custom shape effect is so magnificent.
So
that
awesome.
has so amplified the artwork tool. It's incredible.
It's wonderful, and I've picked a tree. Now the first thing I want to do is create a little Christmas ornament, and I want to customize it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make this one out of applique stitch. Now remember, I've got all my one-click wonders down here. So I'm going to go to my brand new color icon and click on applique stitch. Now this is an applique stitch design, and we all realize applique stitch is used with our beautiful applique stitch fabric. It's a Floriani exclusive. You can't find it anywhere but right here in your FTCU software. Now what I'm going to do is I've got this as an applique stitch, but you know what? I might want to add little lettering to this. So of course we've got our wonderful text tool. I'm going to come in here, left mouse click on screen. I'm going to come in and just type in ho.
Oh, that
apply.
Is great. That's great text for Christmas.
Absolutely. Isn't this cool? I'm going to kind of rotate it because I've got my little icons here. I'm going to bring it down, and it says ho. I could put a couple more in there, but you understand. And you know what? I don't like that in green, so I'm going to come down to my red color search my magnifying glass, and you know what? I don't know what red I want, so I think I'll just type in red. When I type that in, there's my whole color
I
grade.
love that too.
Let's just left mouse click, and now I've got a red hoe in there. Now, if I did know what color I wanted, I could have said, well, you know what? I really want 702 red because my spool is sitting on my sewing machine. So then I could pick 702, and I could highlight it in that. As you notice, it's right here. Now we're going to do one other thing to make this a Christmas ornament. I'm going to come back up here to my wonderful custom shape, select my ellipse, put it on. Now this again is artwork. Let's transform, or as we said in the homework, resize. Let's resize this. I don't want to maintain my aspect ratio. I'm going to make this 1/4 of an inch. Ooh, wait, I'm in millimeters.
You're a metric, honey.
I'm in metric. Somebody put me in metric. And Kathy can't think like Walt. She thinks in inches.
You are doing so good, I think I might have just lost a job.
Nope. They all want to see the master, baby. Now, I've got an artwork circle. I'm going to come down to my wonderful one-click wonders, and I'm going to make it a steel stitch. Now, everything I can do to that just came up, so I don't have to know what I can do. I know this is all I can do. So this is too thick, and Walter taught me this can't be skinnier than 1.5 millimeters. It's a satin. Now I'm going to take that. I'm going to stick it right here at the top. So now I'm going to stitch this out on some stitching shape, burn it out with my heat cutting tool, poke a hole in it, and hang it on the tree.
That's awesome.
How cool is that? Now, you could put a name, Baby's First Christmas, but let's keep moving. Let's come in here and say, I want to do something else fun to this. So I'm going to grab that same tree, and I'm going to turn it into a run stitch here, because I'm going to make gift tags. I have a run stitch. I'm going to come in here and change this to green. I love the fact that I can just type in a color and then pick the one I like.
I think that's
so I'm going to make this green by left mouse clicking on it. Let's make it a brighter green. Apparently I can't pick bright. Here's bright. Okay, so I've got a bright green. Now I have this run stitch outline. I'm going to make this that beam stitch Walter was talking about. We're going to change our stitch length, and we're going to give it 7 repeats. Now I'm going to stitch this directly out on card. And you know what? I'm going to get rid of old hoe here because I'm going to stitch it out on cardstock, and now I have little gift tags to tie onto my packages.
That is an absolutely incredible
Hey, it only
idea.
gets better. One more little thing to go with it. Let's grab the tree. Now I would like to make some napkin ring holders, and I'm going to do it out of embroidery. So I've selected the tree. Let me get rid of this my little circle here. I can right mouse click and tell it to delete. Now I've selected it. I need to make this a fill. So again, one click wonder, left mouse click, and I got a fill. Now I'm going to go ahead and 3D this fill for you. Come over, because now I've got a fill. Everything I can do came up in my properties. Let's pick a zigzag fill and apply. A problem is it's zigging and zagging the wrong way for a tree. So I'm going to come to my second icon on my left-hand toolbar, which is my shape tool. Let's select the shape. Now you can see you've got your angle line. Let's bring our angle line and make our zigzag go up and down. You can either hit apply or enter on your keyboard. Now it looks like a doggone tree.
Absolutely magnificent.
Now I'm going to come into my shape, because what Christmas tree is going to be a Christmas tree without the star on top? So let's grab our star. Let's shrink it down, the artwork down, so it's going to fit nicely on top of my tree. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a fill stitch. But I'm going to come over to my thread chart over here. I can select any thread chart, and I need Floriani metallic because, after all, the star needs to be gold on top of the tree. Now I can put Merry Christmas, Baby's First Christmas. I could put a monogram on here. I can do whatever I want to add lettering. Then this is a pretty big tree. This is 5.5 inches tall. Well, since this is going to be for a napkin ring, I'm going to make that height about 3.5 inches. You know what? I'm going to grab it again because I didn't tell it to maintain the aspect ratio. And we don't want it to distort. So let's decide to maintain aspect ratio. Let's make this 3.5. Let's apply. And now I'm going to stitch this out on some no-show mesh, take my heat cutting tool, cut it out, and sew it onto a ponytail holder. And now I have napkin rings. And this is all out of one little piece of artwork.
You know what, Kath, that's so why I refer to this all as creation software, because the ability to have all those shapes in it, to have those artwork tools at your fingertips, the ability to create new designs, and then to fill it with these effects. These little one-hit wonders down here on the bottom is just absolutely amazing to me. You turning it back over to me here?
Yeah. Yes, because the internet kicked me off. I'm going to give it back to you. Well, I can't even give it back. It's yours.
Okay, I think I can grab it right now.
Okay.
But again, that ability to simply create a new design just by hitting new, coming to your artwork tool, and just right here, custom shapes. When this feature was added, this is so amazing to me, because you can take, let's say we just take one, let me pick something that I could put, let's say if I wanted to throw into a corner, okay, and then in a select, can I come in here and throw this into my, my new, like, corner repeat function, put that in there like that?
Absolutely.
I mean, I can take any piece of artwork, I can turn it into that, then once clicking it OK, bring it up on the screen. It's still not a stitch type, but I can come in and make those all now fill stitches.
Oh, wow.
Once again, I can come in and do the color. It's creation software, folks. Again, I've stopped calling the process, even for me, digitizing, because I can have so much fun. Let's see now, if I just learned from Kathy, I can come in here and do a thread color search, and I can just type in red, right? Yep. And up will come all my red. Just hit find. Here's all my red, so I can turn it into any color red, make it look 3D. But then, I love this fancy stitch, the fancy fill feature. I love these motif fills that you can come in and just apply. The software's ability has gone beyond anything I've now ever seen in this embroidery process. It literally has. To be able to take and to toggle from stitch type to stitch type, to grab gradient fills, to turn those into appliques, utilize the applique stitch, to come in and say, you know what, no, I want to stipple that, and utilizing batting create some wonderful effect. That's amazing to me. This software's ability to create is like nothing I've ever seen. In my entire life, I have never been so excited about a product as I am on FTCU. It's absolutely amazing. With that being said, folks, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. We're about to take get all our educators together and go have a little Christmas fun ourselves. I would like to thank you all for being Floriani software clients. You're not clients. You know what? You're part of the Floriani software family. You don't know how much that means to me. You just got a little sprinkling of what's coming.
Well, we have to say something special, though. Ricky promised them we were giving him a gift tonight. What's the gift, Mr. Floriani?
What?
We're
going to give them the update when?
Before Christmas. Everything you've seen, all the new tools.
We're going to release that? Ricky Brooks said that?
Before Christmas, as a thank you to you and a Merry Christmas, that you're going to have all these new tools that you're looking at right now, and you're saying, I don't have that. Well, you're going to have it before Christmas.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. The Floriani product line would not be what it is without R&K behind us, who has put such belief in myself and DJ. Thank you, Kathy, for being here. I like this tag team webinar, baby. We're going to have to do this again. Of course, thank you, DJ Anderson. DJ, just say hello to everyone. I never get to hear your voice hardly.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone out there.
Happy Hanukkah.
Educators, we have loved having you here today. I think we ought to do this, well, we do this more than once or twice a year, but it's been wonderful to have you here. to share with you the update that we just shared with everyone. Again, Ricky, Cliff, everyone involved, thank you. Thanks for getting this update. We got some work to do. Just go make some videos and get some stuff done to get this out on time. So we love you all. The happiest of holidays to everyone. Hugs and stitches. And with that, I'm going to be signing off. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.